Welcome to the back corner of the office. This is your progress review. Congratulations on making it this far. I know you've worked hard, and it's now time for the next stage in your care, so that's what we're here to talk about today, what's involved with that. So what we want is to get you to your next highest level of health in the next phase of care. So we want you on the green road of life, as you can see on the chart here. We don't want you on the red road of life. We want you living a victorious life. We want you living in abundant health the way God created you to live. We don't want you on the red road of life, the subluxation disease process train with more sickness, spinal decay, far more money spent on what we call health care, but is really sickness care, and just living a mostly painful, miserable life. That's what we want you to avoid 100%. So if you look at the chart here on the left, we see what the ideal spine is. We see why she's so happy. It's because her posture, her spine lines up exactly with the ideal line. The green line is where she should be. The red line is where she actually is, and those actually match up perfectly. And as you know, green and red together is the happiest season of all, is Christmas. So you look at the guy on the right, that's an actual patient, he's in a lot of trouble. His red line where he is very far from the green line from ideal. He's gonna have a lot more sickness, a lot more pain, a lot less energy. He's one of those nursing home candidates that we want to avoid you being. So subluxation is the cause of dis-ease. If you remember from our initial meeting, subluxation is what destroys life from the body. God made your nervous system to be your controller of every cell, tissue, and organ in your body. Your brain sends life down through your spinal cord and out through the nerves between the bones of the spine. That controls everything in your body, your digestion, your hormones, your energy, how long all those organs live. That's all controlled from that. So if that nervous system is the cause of life, subluxation is the cause of dis-ease, any interference to that. So we know of physical causes of subluxation. That's pretty obvious. When the spine misaligns, that's choking off that life from there, and that's easy when we have a trauma, a fall, a slip. These things, those causes of subluxation are pretty obvious. What we don't always think of are how toxins or thoughts, we say the 3 T's, cause subluxation. So trauma, thoughts, and toxins. If you've ever walked into a freshly painted building and you smell that paint and you get a headache, that's a toxic cause of a subluxation. So drugs, alcohol, bad preservatives in our food, all the toxins that we get through our food, even the foods that we don't eat, dehydration, that can cause subluxation because our body is weakened chemically. By that same token, thoughts, stressful thoughts, create subluxation. If someone burst through the door right now with a shotgun, right now everyone in this room would have their pupils dilate, all their hormones would change, they'd get into a stress, fight or flight posture. Well, most of us, when we're living normally, that's not a big deal because it only happens periodically. But if you're living that way all the time or half that stressed all the time due to finances, due to job stress, worry, fear, and guilt, those things destroy our posture, destroy our health and our spine and our nervous system. So if you avoid the 3 T's, trauma, thoughts, and toxins, then you don't need to take care of your spine because you're already perfect. If you eat perfectly, you have no stress, and you never sit wrong or anything, you don't need to worry about taking care of your spine. But if you have any of those less than perfect, you got to take care of your spine. So you can see the slide on the left with a normal curvature, how healthy the spinal cord is. The spinal cord is bright white and looks healthy everywhere. On the right, where there's a forward curve, you can see the spinal cord is bright and full of life. But at the bottom there, you can see where the curve reverses. There's scars all over that cord. Well, that is where, so we look at this slide, you see that the cells on the left, those are the cells that are receiving life from the spinal cord. When that life is cut off from subluxation, your cells regenerate sick every single time. They get sicker and sicker. You look at the cells on the right, they're receiving abundant life from the spinal cord. They're going to regenerate healthy. 90% plus of your cells will be brand new in 90 days. So your progress, when we look at your progress, in a moment we're going to look at some tests, your latest set of tests compared to when we began and your last set of tests. The progress in that is based on 4 things. Number 1, the consistency of your adjusting schedule. Number 2, the consistency and intensity of your in-office rehab. Number 3, your consistency and accuracy of your home care. And number 4, the extent of the spinal damage, sometimes there's so much damage to the spine that only a lifetime effort will contain the problem. We're not dealing with fixing it entirely, but we're doing our best to just get it as healthy as we can. That's why the smaller we start, the better your spine is going to be. So if your kids have never been checked, we must check your kids for subluxation, because helping them grow right in the first place is very different than trying to patch it up when we're 30, 40, or 60 years old. So in my lifetime, people are going to understand this concept of spinal hygiene. Spinal hygiene means taking care of your spine every day. You should get up and do something every day to help your spine. Because of those 3 T's, the trauma, thoughts, and toxins, our spines have wear and tear every single day. You can lift your spine back up and bring your health back up to near normal just by doing a few simple things. And if you don't know what those are, we'll teach you, but you've been learning throughout this process. So home care helps to keep your spine strong and stable between adjustments. But home care without regular adjustments is like flossing your teeth without brushing. You've got to do both in order to keep your spine healthy. So it's critical that we check your spine on a regular basis, and we'll talk to you in a moment about that recommended frequency. It's critical to keep that up just to keep your health functioning in your body. So what is your plan? I want to be on the green road of life, so I hope that's where you want to go. It's always your choice what you want to do, but we recommend maintaining the correction that you've had. Some cases you may need more correction, but we recommend moving up that ladder on the green road instead of back down on the red road of life. So what is your plan? If you look at the gentleman in the top of this slide here, if this is his 80th birthday, we can't assume that when he was 79, he was perfect and looked like Superman, and the morning he woke up on his 80th birthday, he was like this, bent over like that in that terrible posture. It happens incrementally, just step by step by step. And what happened was he probably had a subluxation at age 40 or 50. It's happening younger and younger in these generations. But he had a subluxation that he never took care of and never knew until he wound up in the nursing home, wetting himself and on 27 medications. My goal is that you and your family would never, ever be there, that you're like the folks on the bottom of this slide where they're living in abundance and exercising and they've taken care of themselves. That's my goal for you. So ask yourself 3 critical questions. Where do you want your health to be in the next 20 to 50 years? We want to steer you toward being able to be active and be pain-free, be drug-free, and be healthy through the next phase in your life. What do you want your activity levels to be like? And also ask yourself, what is your most important asset? If I had a nickel for every time someone who's 60, 70, 80 years old and came in here and said, I worked my whole life to save $1 million and now I'd give 10 million just to have my health back, then I wouldn't have to charge anybody for my care. So I want you to just be thinking about what's your most important asset. I'll be in a moment and we'll go over your test results and we'll take great care of you. Thanks for being here.